Let's take a look at how to set up and configure the NXT 900 series of FrameSync products from Ensemble Designs. So the first thing we do is navigate to the URL for this particular NXT. I've typed in the IP address. I've gone to the control systems. For this demo, we're going to skip over actions, control points, and external control and front panel and just focus on the specifics for this product. As you can see, we got FrameSync 1, 2, 3, and 4 menus. And this brings up the configuration and settings for each FrameSync. We can name the FrameSync. So I can call this one FS1. We can determine which input port is the source for this FrameSync. Is it the B and C, or is it the SFP port A, B, C, or D? This allows you to wire fiber into the input to the FrameSync. You can adjust the timing, and you can adjust what it's doing when it's doing up or down conversion. This is the configuration tab. The proc tab allows us to adjust the gain and settings for the proc controls. Color correction. I can specifically do red, green, and blue offset and gain. I can adjust audio controls. This is where I do channel assignments. Turn on embedding. Adjust the bulk delay. Or I can go into crop and scale, where I can then adjust where I want the picture to be on the screen, as well as adjusting the scale of it. Now each one of these tabs are configurable to show up on the operator control, which we'll look at in a minute. So if I have crop and scale turned off on operator control, then when I hit done, we look down here on the bottom and I don't get crop and scale as a operation configuration. So let's go back to FrameSync 1. So each one of these tabs, except for config, allows you to enable them to be visible from the operation point of view. So right now crop and scale is turned off, audio is turned on, color correction is turned on, and proc is turned on. Now this checkbox allows me to enable or disable the proc. So if I turn the gain down and I disable the proc, the gain will come back up on the output. Now notice that these windows up here on the top are showing what the input is to the FrameSync and what the output of the FrameSync is. So I get real-time thumbnails of what the proc is doing. I can look at the info, see if it's got embedded audio in it, what the timing of the FrameSync is. I can save presets for this FrameSync, so I can use them with actions to be able to recall and save configurations for this FrameSync. I could freeze the output, so then the output is frozen. So now there's 4 FrameSyncs, so I have 4 FrameSync menus, all identical. I also have an SFP configuration. So this is where I would assign the SFP port on the back of the product to be either an input or an output. And if it's an output, which output it is, which FrameSync it's outputting. I can also turn on the monitor output. So that determines from the front panel which one I have selected, that's the one that's being monitored on the output. The Resource tab is where you change the modes of the product. Timing and genlock to set up the standards, and your normal action and control points and external control. Now when I hit done, I'm now on the operator page. So this page allows me to scroll between the different FrameSyncs, freeze or unfreeze, see what the status of them are, and whatever tabs I have enabled for the operator to be able to adjust are visible here. So for example, let's go back to settings, go into FrameSync 2, and make only the proc visible to the operator. Okay, so now I click to FrameSync 2, and all I can do is adjust gain for this FrameSync. I'm not allowed to do anything else other than that. So there you go, an overview of how to control and use the NXT 950.